Ok. Bonsoir tout jan SaintLucia. Nou ka sa se Palay Fwanchman oswea asou Hits FM, sou vle di Caribbean Hits FM, nou ka stream live asou sa ou ka kouye Facebook avec nous là sur Facebook avec nous aussi c'est un simulcast avec Ika aussi nous ka présenter programme ça là sur radio aussi 92.1 excusez-moi 91.1 sur FM yon en sud pays ça c'est 92.1 en sud nord pays avec 91.1 en nord en sud du pays. So tonight this is Palay Fwanchman with me, Ras IPA, and we are streaming live on Facebook, and this is Caribbean Hits FM, and we also simulcasting on 92.1 FM and in the north and 91.1 FM in the south. Tonight it's going to be really hot tonight, so you got to prepare yourself tonight. It's going to be a very hot show. First of all, what we will start with tonight, as I would say, it is not this show is a show about the public. It's about the people of SaintLucia. It's about people's situations, people's concern. And Hits FM on Caribbean Hits FM, there's a station that really actually care for the people, brings you all events that are really happening in SaintLucia. Earlier on, I'm sure you saw the whole question of the La Rose and celebrating SaintLucia folk culture and so on. So I'm sure you understand that Hits FM on Caribbean Hits FM is just the station you need to be tuned into at this time. Those of you, call your neighbors, call your friends, tell your people that we are on tonight on Caribbean Hits FM. First of all, tonight, what we are going to start with, we have a young lady here with us, and she has a very serious problem, a very serious situation, a situation that really affecting the country, which is, homelessness, housing, lack of housing, or sometimes people get into problems with housing. And we have this young lady here. Young lady, excuse me, what is your name again?
My name is Pearl McLawrence.
Pearl McLawrence. Pearl McLawrence. So Pearl, what you come here to do exactly?
I came here because I am homeless for now, because a tree fell on my house and the door is mashed up. The window, I cannot sleep in the house, so I'm sleeping by a neighbor. It's 3 weeks since I'm sleeping by the neighbor. Where I have searched for help, I saw the Prime Minister. I told him that I doesn't have nowhere to live. He told me that he cannot help me. I went to Richard Frederick. He told me that's not his side. So right now I'm just at my friend's home, and the place is open. I have my goods. The door is exposed, and I'm trying to make a fundraising dance, and they charge me $1,000. So I'm trying to see if I can make that money, so I can give a dance to help up myself.
So where you living? Where are you actually from?
I am from the community of Chosen Lindelson.
Okay, that's where you're from. But
yeah.
Where
in Rockall?
Where that? So what really happened?
I was sleeping. I heard a loud noise, and then I saw the roof was caving down on me, and I tried to escape. Next day I had a bad neck. I went in the hospital, and when I came in the morning, I saw that big tree. But the whole tree didn't fall where I must thank God for that. It was half of the tree. But it's a very big tree.
Okay. You and who was in the house?
Me and my boyfriend.
You and your boyfriend, your common law husband, or whatever. You all have been together for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
Your common law husband. And you were saying to me that you spoke to the rep, which is Honorable Philip J. Pierre, who's the Prime Minister of SaintLucia. And you were saying he didn't find anywhere to assist you?
He only told me to assist me in the dance, but I told him that I need a place to live.
Look at the camera.
I told him I need a place to live. I'm homeless. So if he can help me, tell me he cannot help me, there's no place.
He want to help you with the dance.
Yeah, but
he don't want to help you your immediate situation.
No, and he still sent me to go and put my name, and the office was closed, so I don't know.
So when he sent you to the office, The time when you and you thought that the office was open when he sent you there, right?
Yeah.
And when you went there, what happened?
I waited a good while and the office was never open.
Oh my gosh. So who you living by? Who are you staying
I living by a friend in the CDC.
By a friend in the CDC. Okay, and then sooner or later you don't know how people stay, even if you're there. They might not be able to accommodate you forever, and ain't it?
No.
You have to find a way. And you're saying, and so you said you spoke to Richard Frederick.
Yeah, I called him on the phone.
He's the Minister of Housing and so on.
because I even promised that I would pay the rent. I did not want it for nothing. He told me that that's not his side.
You mean to tell me, Richard Frederick has, he has $10 million that was given to him to assist people in housing and other things like that in terms of repairing housing. So he has never think of even trying to get a kudme or something like that to repair your house as quickly as possible. No, he didn't say that.
They said they'll repay it, but the problem I have, we have another tree there, which I told them that if I get a little piece of crown, and I don't mind, because that area can be very dangerous for my life, and my life is at risk because it have me very scary in that place.
So whose land you own? Whose land?
I'm renting from a landlord, and the landlord never came. Okay. He never came and visit us, nothing.
Okay. Well, the landlord sometimes they don't always want to care about that. You list, is that list that you list the land or something?
Yeah, we pay every month.
Oh, you pay every month, so it's rented.
But Philip Japier did send the people, but I did explain to them that my life can be very dangerous in that place because we have a lot of trees and it's like a hill.
So is the house in any situation where you can actually stay in the house? There is no way you could stay in that house?
No, you cannot stay there because it cannot close.
It cannot close. So they never think of trying to do something quickly to make sure you find somewhere. Because honestly, Honorable Philip Japier, what I'm saying is that the lady is finding herself homeless. She has to live with someone in the CDC. What I think should happen, in my opinion, is that Honorable Richard Frederick, you have about $10 million. $10 million you have in your hand. You have not told no one how much money you have spent out of this $10 million. You have not given us no account of how many houses you have repaired or built. So far, what you have been building is some kind of substandard kind of housing, which doesn't reach the requirement of really good standard housing or basic standard housing and so on. And then the lady now is in problem, and you are telling her that's not your area, that's not your purview. To me, that is hogwash, because you are the rep. You are the minister who's representing housing. Her house went into a situation where a tree fell on her house, and you are telling her that's not your
That's not his side.
That's not his side. What do you mean by not his side? Did he explain to you?
You have to go to Philip Japier.
So he say, so you mean to tell me the Prime Minister gives Honorable Richard Frederick $10 million to repair houses, build houses, and do all these things where he's building huts all about the place, huts without proper facilities, proper lavatory facilities, proper toilet and other facilities and so on. He's building these kind of little huts about the place. And he's telling you that this is not his area, this is not his purview, that is not part of his jurisdiction, because this is Philip Japier area. This is absurd. This is ridiculous. You know why it's ridiculous? Because Philip Japier is the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, who gave Mr. Richard Frederick, Honorable Richard Frederick, $10 million. He's the minister responsible for housing, and he's telling the lady here that this is not his area, and because it's Castries East and Philip Japier represents Castries East. What an embarrassment to a government. Who should be fired for something like that? I don't know if it's the Prime Minister himself should be fired or if it's Richard Frederick. But this is an embarrassment. If someone in this constituency has gone through this kind of ordeal, this is a serious ordeal she's going through. Housing, homelessness is dangerous. When you live by people's place, they almost sometimes at the beginning they treat you nicely and so on, but after all, sometimes they treat you like dirt. And especially if they realize that it seems that there is no resolution in sight to assist you one way or the other. Let me tell you all something. Mr. Philip Japier, Honorable Philip Japier, and Philip Japier Pip, let me tell you something. find a way to assist this lady as quickly as possible, because we are going to continue this whole thing, this campaign with this lady, so she could get some assistance. And you need to give the lady assistance. Don't let Richard Frederick, I mean, you're not ashamed to tell the lady that's not your area when you get $10 million. What have you all done with this $10 million? That's the question I need to ask. And I'm asking this question now, and I'm going to ask it and continue to ask it. What have you done? Where's the account of the amount of monies you have spent out of this $10 million? How many houses have you repaired so far? And how many houses have you built? Because you was showing off with some huts, and then we don't know what has happened from since then. My lady, what is your last word on all this whole thing that's going on?
My last word is that I'm a very hard-working lady. I do my little vendor. All I asking of them, can they please break down on the price of the market so I can do a little fundraising, because I have the friends, I have that DJ, would be free for me. Please, can they please assist me? I've been saying that in the media and the news. Can they please talk to the people and tell the people it's a critical situation? Help the young lady, because we don't know who will be next. I could have taken my death. Up to now, I'm still panicked by that.
Yes.
Panic. Because the way it happened,
you're traumatized by it. You're traumatized.
I'm calling Richard Frederick.
Tell him you're traumatized.
And ask him, can he please help me? Because I don't have nowhere to stand.
What you saying to Philip?
I saw Philip Jean-Pierre and he told me.
What you saying to Philip?
I went to Philip Jean-Pierre. He told me he will try to do the fundraising, help me with the fundraising. But I still told him that I was homeless. I don't have a place to live for now. So can he please help me? He told me that there's nowhere available. That's what he told me. Cannot help me. So nobody cannot help.
So I want you to ask him something. Appeal to him for something.
We put this Prime Minister there, in which if we have a problem or something happen, to help us. But it seems to me the way it's going, like they choose people to help. Sometimes people that have already, they help, and those that don't have, they neglect you. So you got to be strong and talk and come out and let people know what is happening to you. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Are you a supporter of the Prime Minister? Well, serious supporter of him?
No.
No, I mean in terms of the politics.
Well, I don't choose government. Or everybody that come, I support them.
Okay. What are you going to say to Honorable Richard Frederick as well?
Richard Frederick was a good fan of mine. I used to follow him. I was very surprised when I called him and I told him my situation, and the answer they gave to me, I wasn't feeling. I felt unhappy about that.
Okay. Well, you know, there you have it. You see this lady here, Miss Pearl
McLaurin.
Pearl McLaurin. She has come here and she has put her story out there to you all. She has made an appeal to you, the public, and everyone else to try to assist her whatever way is possible. She has made an appeal to the Prime Minister, you know, to assist her, to help her find a way to try to get her somewhere to live. I think one of the best things they could do some kudme quickly and get a house together and put her and let her be in some house. You know, building some of these houses. What your house is made of, darling?
A wooden house.
A wooden house, a plywood house. So that means to say it's not hard to get a one day kudme and get her a little house for she to be comfortable with her and her common law husband. Honorable Richard Frederick, I mean, I don't tell a lady that this is not your area. I think you know, that's a mistake you're making, saying something like that. But what would you say to us who have you here and so on?
I want to thank you all very much for bringing me here. And I don't know who's listening, but I will try to assist myself. If they does not want to break down on the price, I will try to get the $1,000, buy my drinks, and stand on my feet, and try to take the money to buy my TV back, things that match it.
So you lose a lot of things?
Yeah, but by the grace of God, I still have life. Because I would be a dead person.
Tell us
my TV, my radio, my shoes, my clothes.
Some of you are
yeah, clothes. Because the tree actually fell and mashed up all the flooring also.
Okay.
And the big tree is still there. Okay. It's a very big tree.
So you have not got no kind of help or assistance in trying to clear the way, clear the tree, clear nothing has happened so far. And you're saying how many weeks now?
It's 3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks since that.
And after that, we felt was another problem. We have a thing of bees. Imagine inside of the tree. So you cannot stay around the house now. So it's from one to the other. That.
And you say it's because of all the rain that has been coming down.
Because we never saw these bees there until the tree fell.
Are you saying it's because of all the rain that has been falling?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Miss Pearl McLaurin, McLaurin. You must be related to me.
I'm from Choiseul, Delson.
I'm McLaurin.
I'm from Delson.
I have some McLaurin in my family, so you're probably related to me. I don't even know. We thank you for coming here today.
Yeah, thank you.
And we say that we hats off to you for being brave. You're strong to come out there.
And I'm still just selling my stuff.
And
I'm still strong.
You're on the street. You're on Jeremy Street, right?
Doing my hustling.
Thank you very much for coming. And I appreciate that you take the time off.
Thank you very much.
What do you say?
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. You take care.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, again, we want to say thanks for the young lady for being so brave to come out and so on and do what she did there. We need to assist. We need to assist people when they need, and that is what we are all about on this show. The other thing we want to do is that we have some clips there, so we really want to do them. We have started our show so far with this appeal from this young lady who what you call Miss Pearl McLaurin, where a tree fell on her house, and you all know what that means when you find yourself homeless. And Richard Frederick said that some of the houses he are building out there is really for the homeless, but it seems to me that he have forgotten that this lady have found herself homeless because a tree fell on her house, on her home, and whatever. So anyhow, what we are going to do now, we are going to play this clip. We're going to play two clips here for you, one with the Prime Minister and the other with the Mr. Oswald Augustine, and that we are going to put this clip here for you to see. So clip.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre's decision to review the Uranora International Airport HIA redevelopment project has saved taxpayers what was on course to add up to $1 billion debt burden. Concerned about the project's impact on government coffers, Honorable Pierre and his cabinet last August appointed a 7-member review committee to assess the project. The Prime Minister disclosed some of the committee's findings at the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association's 58th AGM on August 26.
The redevelopment of the terminal building.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre's decision to review the Uranora International Airport HIA redevelopment project has saved taxpayers what was on course to add up to $1 billion debt burden. Concerned about the project's impact on government coffers, Honorable Pierre and his cabinet last August appointed a 7-member review committee to assess the project. The Prime Minister disclosed some of the committee's findings at the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association's 58th AGM on August 26.
The redevelopment of the terminal building at HIA was projected to cost US $175 million or EC $472.5 million. The main contractor for the largest national project was selected by the Prime Minister without any form of competitive bidding. On instructions, the terminal building was relocated from the original site to an area further west, requiring 10 times more piling, from the original plan of 311 piles to 3,006 piles. The cost of the foundation escalated from $4.86 million to EC $51.3 million, a cost overrun in the foundation of $46.4 million.
The government has already incurred tens of millions of dollars in cost overruns to date. Honorable Pierce says the International Financial Corporation, IFC, the private sector arm of the World Bank, has been re-engaged to advise the government on the most prudential options to proceed with the HIA redevelopment project.
The project would have ended up costing approximately US $400 million, or EC $1.086 billion on its current trajectory. That was at September last year, before the increases as far as inflation, etc. are concerned. As a responsible government, whereas we want the airport to continue, we want the airport to be renovated, in all good conscience, we could not continue on that path. What did we do? The Cabinet of Ministers has invited the International Financial Corporation, the IFC or the World Bank, who were the original people who were involved when the project ought to be a PPP arrangement, to review the options proposed by the committee and to advise the government on the best value engineering option for the continuation of the HIA redevelopment project in the interest of the people of St. Lucia.
Two previous administrations have made ill-fated attempts to redevelop the Uranora International Airport in Bayfort. Court documents filed in the United States have implicated former government ministers in relation to a criminal probe involving a privately owned construction company. More recently, the financing arrangements and escalating scope of the latest attempt to action the overdue project have cost taxpayers a $2 million penalty levied by the IFC. From the Office of the Prime Minister, Rihani Isidore.
Past chairman of the Tenders Committee for the St. Lucia and Seaports Authority, Oswald Augustin, has taken issue with Prime Minister Philip Pierce's comments criticizing the former Alan Chastney administration for relocating the Uranora International Airport as part of the airport redevelopment project, saying that it was only feasible to do so. He countered the statement about the absence of tendering. Mr. Augustin explained that the Exim Bank of Taiwan borrowed the then UWP government of St. Lucia US $100 million on condition that the lending institution provide its own contractor.
If you didn't use their contractor because they want to see how the money is being spent, they wanted a contractor whom they were comfortable with. So the contract was given to OECC, which is a Taiwanese firm.
He further explained that SLASPA still needed an additional US $75 million, which was financed by a consortium of banks to complete the project, which was subjected to stringent vetting processes, incurring additional legal expenses. He denied claims of cost overruns, stating that the foundation was completed in the allotted time and within the budget.
Now, 2016, a new government came in. Plans, they started the airport about 3 years after they came in, trying to give us that airport which we so desire. We need it. We have been left behind. Barbados have, Antigua has theirs, Bahamas, everywhere. We have an airport which would have taken us to a good few years beyond. A good few years beyond. But when you tell me you want to go with a PPP with IFC, when they're going to own your airport, and then give it back to you 30 years after. That's madness, because 30 years after, you will be paying for a lot of maintenance.
We questioned the Prime Minister regarding Mr. Augustin's statement, and this was his response.
Mr. Augustin, Oswald Augustin, he said that. Oswald Augustin. He also said that. He also said that you were telling untruths.
Former chairman of the United Workers Party.
Is your contractor?
Well, he said that they were.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
The Prime Minister made the remarks on his way to Monday's meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
Yes. I'm just I'm flabbergasted by flabbergasted by the Prime Minister's response to the asking him questions. That they asked the Prime Minister questions about and told him who responded to his response, and he didn't want to. He behaved as if he doesn't know Mr. Oswald Augustine, and then he decided to move out on journalists. But Mr. Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, you have just awakened a sleeping giant. Oswald has been quiet for quite some time. Oswald might be a sleeping giant or a sleeping lion. You have just awakened a sleeping lion. And I just want to go back to you, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. June 10th, 2020, during COVID time, you said that the only person who fought